Welcome to the web series, The Hero's Call, where champions of safety and justice in the community are profiled. The series is co-hosted by attorney Mark Diller and his colleague, Dr. John Naranja. Dr. John is both an attorney and a doctor.
Food insecurity continues to plague our community, and there's a negative stigma attached to the use of food pantries. But thanks to the work of Debbie Amaral at the Mystic Valley YMCA, she's helping to curb and reduce the negative stigma attached to both food insecurity and the use of food pantries. Debbie, welcome to the Hero's Call.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys inviting me and taking on this initiative and continuing it even after something people think that the need to highlight some of the good has gone away because they think the pandemic's gone away. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, Debbie.
Okay, so my name's Debbie Amaral, and I'm the president and CEO of the Mystic Valley YMCA. Our service area is Everett, Malden, and Medford, and part of our Y has changed very significantly during the pandemic. We have 3 food pantries in 3 communities that serve close to 2,000 households a week. And every Y is a little bit different. Every Y in your community does a little bit different than what we do. But our whole point is that the Y has always changed and evolved to meet community needs. So that's what our Y has done over the past 18 months or so.
So does the Mystic Valley YMCA, does it own and operate its own food pantries?
Yes. So what happens is pre-pandemic, we had two food pantries to start with. One was in Everett, and it's a smaller pantry, and it was just open for the public to come in with the Elliott Family Resource Network. So when their families were receiving services, they were able to get food at the same time. And then in Malden, we had one in one of our rooms in the building, and it was open for a few hours a day, and we were seeing about 30 families a day. And then in Medford, people probably don't know this, but Medford in 2019 had the 3rd highest rate of food insecurity. And food insecurity is really about how much food is being put into the community and how many people need food. So the 3rd food pantry that we did in Medford was a partnership with the Greater Boston Food Bank. So the Greater Boston Food Bank has sponsored us for 3 years with some funding to start a food pantry in Medford. All 3 are operated by our Y, and we consider them to be programs of our Y.
That's great. Now, can you share with us a little bit about these food banks and the food pantries that you're operating? Is there a stigma, you believe, that's attached to the use of these food pantries within the communities that you're operating?
So we believe that with all food insecurity, there's some stigma involved. Standing in line, asking for, or thinking you're asking for something free, the quality of the environment that you're going into. So there's a lot of different things with families that just have that stigma continue.
And recently, I understand that you've taken an initiative to try to attack and resolve that stigma. Can you share with us a little bit about what it is that you've been doing?
Sure. So pre-pandemic, which was in February, we applied for what's called a venture fund grant with the United Way. So we decided that for our venture fund grant, we were going to work with the United Way, and we were going to apply for a grant to develop a computer system with a partner called Deep Y Design. So Deep Y Design is out of Boston, and we use a Salesforce platform to develop a program that food pantries can use. We can check people in. They have a scan tag, so we just scan their tag and it goes right in. We are just starting now version 1 of hooking up what we have in we call our pantries markets, but what we have in our market and what we can give to individuals. And we also have an inventory system with it, as well as for deliveries. And we also have scheduled pickups so that you can be at home. You can pick a time that you want to pick up your food. As of next week, you'll be able to pick what food you want to pick up. And you'll get a text message saying that when your scheduled time is, and you'll get a text message 2 hours before your time to pick up as a reminder. So that we're texting people. We're also texting people in their own languages so that we have it translated into 7 different languages. It's really just a way to have people be able to get the food they want, reduce food waste, have them be able to scan a tag and not have to give us their information 10 times. We can serve as many people in 2 hours that we used to serve in 4 hours. So there's a lot of different things that we're able to do more quickly thanks to this new computer system we're developing.
So Debbie, one of the factors that we look at in identifying people who are heroes within our community is you're doing these selfless acts. Can you tell us a little bit about this organization and its nonprofit nature?
Sure. So Your Market is the name of our computer program that we've developed, and we're holding it in public trust. The YMCA is responsible for the fundraising, and right now we maintain the intellectual property on it. Whereas our partner Deep Y Design, while they're for profit, what they do is they've donated about 30% of their time to the cause, as well as they have relinquished the rights to the actual software that we're developing, and they're not using any of the things that we're designing in other software that they develop. So they're truly partners on this. The other thing is we've committed that it's going to stay as a not-for-profit. So by holding it in public trust, the Y can't sell it for a profit, neither can Deep Y Design.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the beneficiaries of the food pantry can go to different neighborhoods if they so choose?
Absolutely. So one of the things that makes Salesforce such an ideal platform is it's worldwide centralized. It can be a centralized database and yet have different segments in it. So what's happening is we're really using Salesforce to have a centralized point of entry, so that if I enter the system in Medford and my first market I use in Medford, I'm counted in Medford. But then if I go to, say, use a market in Brockton, then I can just use my same scan tag. They can scan me or look me up on my phone number, and I'll already be in the system.
So Debbie, what are we looking at here?
So this is our logo for Your Market, and we're doing some support videos. So this is for our partners, one of our support videos on how to check in shoppers. Our particular market is we're about 60% fresh produce and fresh fruits and vegetables and frozen meats. And then the other 40% are canned or shelf-stable items. So we try to make it a fresh market. What we're working on right now is a system so that a doctor can refer patients to Your Market markets, and we'll be able to give them a list of food that is better for them for things like high blood pressure or being a diabetic. Or someone called me the other day for celiac disease, so they needed gluten-free stuff. And the point being is that the best way to combat a lot of diseases is through fresh food.
Debbie, it sounds like you're not only reducing the stigma of going to a food pantry, but you're trying to also contribute to kind of healthy diets and healthy conditions, right? So Debbie, what are we looking at here?
So this is one of our scan tags we use. That scan tag there can go to any market and that's in the system and can be scanned, and that individual can get food. We just put the number in or we scan it in, and then they're able to get what they want and need.
So the different options for somebody who wants access to the food are to either go to the food pantry directly, or they can get it delivered. How does that work?
So we have 3 different systems, really. So one is 2 of our markets are walk up. Actually 4 different systems. So one is walk up. 2 is that they can schedule a slot and online, and they have there's different half-hour slots that they can go into, and we'll bring the food right to their car. 4 is that they can be referred by a doctor and they can have a delivery to their home, or they can be referred by an organization.
All right, Debbie, what are we looking at here?
So this is a USDA produce box. So the USDA set aside money for families to get fresh fruits and vegetables. It helped the farmers when the restaurants were closed, and it helped so it helped everybody, right? The farmers were able to, the restaurants were closed, the farmers were able to box items that they have to a producer. The producer was able to put them into a box, and we were distributing at the peak 1,960 boxes a week to households. And you can see how beautiful they were. People really appreciated having this beautiful fresh fruits and vegetables. But that's really what happened during the pandemic, to make sure that the farmers were able to be taken care of when the restaurants weren't there, and that people who owned produce places were also helped.
So it sounds like you're not only kind of reducing the stigma of people going to food pantries. I mean, the quality of this food looks like, it doesn't look like it would be from a food pantry, at least the way, most people probably think about it. So that's probably a nice step in that direction to reduce that stigma as well.
We work a lot with an agency called FoodLink, and FoodLink brings us food from Wegmans. That's unbelievable, all the prepared foods and salads, and we are able to give those to people. We also are able to pick up from Aldi's and Target, and and Aldi's and Target, some of the food that they give us also is unbelievable.
So what's going on here?
So first, this is one of our fitness rooms made into a storage area. So that's how much food we needed just to last just a week. Like, that will all be gone in a week, believe it or not. And there's a lot of food there. But I received the Heroes Award from the Red Cross. So this was my picture with my medal of for the Heroes Award.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Heroes Award? What went into getting that award?
So I was nominated by somebody who works for Greater Boston Food Bank. And it was really, just to give you guys an idea, the Greater Boston Food Bank made an agreement with RY to serve 250,000 pounds of food a year. 250,000 pounds of food a year. We now do that more in a month. So they signed the contract with us in January 2020. This year, we should finish off June 2021. We'll have given away over 3 million pounds of food since July 1st of last year. So our numbers just like quadrupled. So we became one of the top 10 users of the Greater Boston Food Bank. We had, at our peak, we had, I think it was 7,000 households we helped, unique households, not even repeat households, unique households.
So Debbie, the last topic I want to discuss with you is, I mean, you've already accomplished quite a bit. What's the future looking like for your program?
I hope we go out of business someday. I hope that someday people don't have the need to come and use food pantries. And, hopefully if they do, it's only an emergency. There's so many people still using them while the numbers are decreasing a little bit. To still have 2,000 households a week with an average of 3 people is a lot. So, we're hoping that number goes down. We're actually hoping the future for our computer system, we're trying to bring on more partners and pantries, and we're also trying to add functionality. So one of the functionalities we want to offer is that if you say that you don't receive a federal benefit that you probably should have, we're going to be able to automatically refer you to an agency that can help you get the benefit. So as a Y, we don't want to try to do everything everyone's doing. We're going to focus on distribution of food, but we're going to leverage I can text right now about 4,000 individuals that we're serving. So if I can get to them some federal resources that might help them to have other food sources or to have better sustainability for their families, that's what we want to do. So that's really the future of our Your Market system, is to expand to partners, to continue to invest, to make it better and to change with whatever the needs are. But also we're going to work hard on some artificial intelligence and some ways that the program can actually communicate with them in their own language. So that's more audible and less reading. So we're trying
That's great.
to give people more access. We're really looking at that.
We really appreciate you being a guest on the Heroes Call. You've really been doing a lot in terms of your heroic efforts. You've been helping decrease the stigma as far as food pantries. You've been helping with the health of your community and using technology in a way that, that's the way it should be in minimizing waste. We appreciate you being our guest.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate being able to have the opportunity to talk about what we're doing. We find it exciting.